Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Welcome to episode 202. This is Stefan, and you're listening to What's on Tap podcast. Now, this is a special episode because we were able to host a live event called the MMX beer event. This evening, they featured sour ales, and the MMX Beer Club is associated with the Great Swedish Beer Festival. So it's kind of a way to get people involved and interested in what's happening with the Great Swedish Beer Festival and introduce some of the local brewers that are going to be attending there. We love sour beers, and so they thought we'd be perfect to come in and host the evening. So we started out with an interview with Brekeriet and Irina Carlin. Unfortunately, that interview wasn't recorded, so we're going to have Irina on the show later to talk about what she's doing. And quite honestly, it was an amazing interview, and I'm really sad that you guys can't hear it. But you'll get to look forward to hearing from her in a future episode. After that, we interview Michael and Torsten from Psychopipes, and that's followed up by Leonard Johansson, who works with Jackdaw, which is a brewery in Uppsala, and is also part of Constant Companion, which is a Swedish beer distribution company that brings in Swedish beers into Sweden. Sour beers brought into Sweden from different countries. We really hope you enjoy this episode. So without further ado, make sure you check out the Great Swedish Beer Festival, and I give you our sour beer event. I hope you enjoyed the first interview with Irina. Again, thank you for coming up on stage and talking with us, Irina. And next we have...
Well, next we have Sweden's currently number one ranked brewery on Untapped for Swedish breweries. We have Psychopipes coming up. So Psychopipes have quickly formed a steady fan base around the country and internationally. They're doing a lot of experimental sour beers and a lot of other fun creations. So
very much.
Oh, very much.
Yes.
So please welcome up Michael and Torsten from Psychopipes.
Welcome, guys. Yeah, I'll give him my microphone, as I said that to everyone. All right.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
So, introduce yourselves.
Yeah.
Michael. Torsten.
What? So, Michael, you started Hyllie Brewery first, right?
Yes.
So how long have you been doing Hyllie Brewing?
4 years and 5 days, I think.
Oh,
I got a notice on Facebook a couple of days ago.
All right, cool. So what made you start Psychopipes?
From the beginning, we had crazy beer and normal beer in Hyllie, but it didn't work out so good, so we decided to have the crazy stuff beside.
Branch out a little.
Yeah.
Cool. And so going back to, you couldn't really decide if you wanted to be a Hyllie beer or something else, right? So what makes you decide now if it's going to be a Hyllie brewing beer or a Psychopipes beer?
Hyllie is they're quite normal with a small twist, and Psychopipes is with a big twist.
That's where the huge magic happens.
Yeah, so it's quite easy to see. Yeah.
So besides you and Torsten, who's also part of Psychopipes?
Yes, and also Hyllie.
And also Hyllie. Oh,
yeah.
Also Hyllie as well.
Yeah.
Cool. But do you also have Ola?
Ola is right now in 1 year in Zambia.
Yeah.
Working.
So how did you get started with sour beers? What made you get into the scene?
Sour is good. We went to Belgium, to Cantillon a lot of years ago, and wasn't so good. Next time we tried it was better, and now it's sick.
So you kind of eased into it.
Yeah.
So is Cantillon like the origin story for everyone getting into sour beers?
Yeah, it's actually the Cantillon was in our summer house together with a friend Patrick. I bought the wrong beer on Systembolaget. It was a Cantillon what's it called, the original
Yeah.
lambic one, and poured it up, and we said both, wow, fuck is this? And drained it out in the sink, and that beer has been fantastic if you had it right now.
Yeah.
So that was the first experience, I think.
So what do you find interesting about brewing sour beers?
You never know how the beer will be.
Yeah.
From when it's finished, you know it's good, and yeah.
And where do you get your from when you're going to create a new Psychopipes beer? Where do you draw inspiration from? I mean, I'm looking at your shirts and your things here.
That's crazy stuff. Actually, I don't know too much about how to do it. Just do it, and sometimes it will be very bad, and sometimes will be very good. So not too much inspiration. Just try to.
So it's just ad hoc experimentation.
Yeah, experimental beer.
So what's been your most successful experiment, would you say?
I really like the sours with Sprouse, Christmas tree tops. That's my favorite. Together with did one with a lingonberry and one with a blueberry.
And what does the Sprouts add to the beer? Like, is it a certain flavor or a certain smell or aroma?
There's one guy that had like 10,000 check-ins in Untapped to me and said, I've been drinking 10,000 different beers and still I can discover something brand new flavor. So that's I think is the new flavors, and I really like this because like Swedish wood. When you walk out in the wood in the morning, you can do that flavor. You can feel the flavor in the beer from the woods.
Very cool.
So, Torsten, how did you get involved in Psychopipes?
It started with, before Psychopipes, we have our home brewery, the Garage Brewery, together with Patrick. So they were a little ahead of me, but I joined quite soon. And then we did beers together until the beer ditch. And then Mikke said that, oh, now we need to have your beers at beer ditch. So then we need to have a real brew. So then he started Hyllie, but I was involved in it, you can say.
All right, excellent.
So you recently released a 14% Imperial Stout, and what made you create that beer after working with sour beer for so long?
We really like heavy, good bourbon-aged stouts and sours, and crazy hopped, like triple IPAs. And together with Hyllie and French Brewing Company, we did a collab that went up to 16%, called the Judgment Day Stout. And we had had bidders over, so I just poured it down to the new emptied keg of barrel from Kentucky. Just didn't know why and it went out to beer, but then I tried the beer and it was fantastic. I checked the gravity, and it's been a little bit drier than the original stout was 16. Mm-hmm. So we tried on an alcohol meter, and it went out of the range. Check it was 18.7%.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And I should say that you are wrong there, Matthias, because we started with 3 kind of beers, and we started thinking of Psychopipes that we should have really strong Imperial Stouts, or powerful at least, and double IPAs. We started with triple IPA when we were at CBC, but it was a little too much maybe. But we still want to develop 3 different type of beers, but the sour one people I got most fond of, so that has a little more attention.
Yeah.
But I loved that part of trying things like the Sprouts, where I come up with that when I walk in Björnum we have a cabbage.
Yeah.
So what happens if? That's my favorite question. Often it's quite good, and then I hand over to my brewers.
Yeah. And what is your favorite sour beers, both of you?
Good question. My absolute sours favorite Old-Betche from it's a Hansen Old-Betche. It's a sour with strawberries, but not strawberries. It's smultron.
Yeah.
Strawberries from woods or something.
Wild strawberries.
It's
Wild
strawberries. Yeah, that's my absolute favorite. I think I have like 3 cases of it home, like 10 years old now, and always fantastic. So right now we have a strawberry and raspberry sour.
Nice. And Torsten, what's your favorite?
I was also in Belgium, and the Cantillon Foufoune is the best I can drink of all beers. I think.
So what can you tell us about the beers that you brought tonight?
Good.
It's not a trick question.
Good question. We have 2 sours. It's the same base beer, quite same base beer. One is with raspberry, like 25% raspberry, 75% strawberries.
The strawberry on that is amazing. I've never had such a strawberry beer before. It's incredible.
A lot of strawberries. And strawberries comes from Brewski. They have ordered like raspberries and got 90 kilos of strawberry. That was wrong. So I got the strawberries put in the fridge, deep fridge. Another one is dry hopped sour with a lot of Citra hops from the new batch 2018. So it just arrived. And the sour is from a little bit new culture, Saison yeast, and then we have our own culture that we're using from another, not the barrel, from the tank that we're using.
And then you have one more beer.
One more beer. There's 6 sours on tap today, so we brought a dry hopped Pilsner from Hyllie. It's 3 gram per liter, the new Mosaic hops. So it will be a little more interesting.
So what can we expect from Psychopipes going forward?
You never know.
Exactly.
I'm working very hard to find a place for barrels. That's my next wish, both on the Imperial Stout side and on the sour side. It should be really fun.
What does the future of Psychopipes look like? How do you see it growing and developing and evolving?
Yeah, we have got a lot of attention, and people now from around the world are starting to ask if we can sell them beers. So I feel we need to do something to get up the volumes, and it's a fun problem. Michael is working on that. I hope he solves it.
I'm working too much with other things, but 2019 is the year where everything will happen, I think.
So are we going to see more of your beers in Systembolaget?
Yes.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to tell us about Psychopipes or Hyllie? Excellent. Thanks a lot, guys. And
thank you.
Good luck with everything in 2019.
Thank you.
All right, guys, let's hear it for Michael and Torsten. Thank you guys for coming up.
Thank you.
And we can find you online at psychopipes.se.
Torsten.
What's the URL?
It's psychopipes.beer.com or website.
Yeah, but we started Facebook. That's my
Start at Facebook, type in Psychopipes, and go from there. Excellent. Okay, you can find them on Facebook and Instagram and wherever, All right, guys, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Okay. So next up, again, thank you guys. What are we doing? Jackdaw? Excellent. We're killing this. I feel like we're just crushing it. So Jackdaw is from Uppsala, which is somewhere way up north.
Yeah, it's just north of Stockholm.
Just north of Stockholm? All right, that's not too far.
No.
I'm killing it with geography. It's amazing.
You've only lived there for what, 10 years, 12?
But that's not important. So Frederick, Yanni, and Gabriel have made a big name for themselves internationally, resulting in collabs with major players like Belgians, how do you say this? Alvin? and British Vibrant Forest. This evening, Jackdaw will be presented by Leonard
Johansson.
Leonard Johansson, who works with Constant Companion, which is a Swedish beer distributor specializing in sour beers from the likes of Verzet, North Brewing, Tommy Seff, Caldebrado, Lover Beer, and many, many more. So let's welcome Leonard up to the stage. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, guys.
All right, okay, I'll start. So tell us a bit about Jackdaw. Tell us about Jackdaw.
You tell us something about it, but it's a very small brewery up in Uppsala, way up in Sweden. They kicked it off, the three guys you mentioned, Gabbe, Janne, and Fredrik. At the beginning, it was a little bit a part of focusing on the Belgian styles, different strong dark ales like Zwarte Drak, as they are still producing. 1.5 years ago, they made an order to take home two oak foeders. So approximately 1 year ago, they have 2 oak foeders on each 4,000. So of course they have their brewery. They have one kettle for boiling and one for mashing, and it's just 900 liters. So they got some oak foeders and total 8,000 liters. So they brewed like hell for a couple of weeks to fill them up. That was a little bit more than 1 year ago. And here tonight you can take Avkledd, which is a beer directly from one of the foeders, being stored there for a little bit more than 10 months. So today they are focusing on different sour beer styles, plus some other dark, strong ales and so on.
So how did they make that transition from traditional Belgian styles to more sour beers?
As I always say, they started to get on to Belgium. Of course, they like Belgian ale, but styles. But they also got in contact mainly with Alvin, Downy Moon, as we are working with well. And they have done some collaboration like the Cuvée Sophie, Cloudberries, and so on, and Kangaroos, and so on and so on. So they thought that they should really take the step fully into the sour beer style. 2 years ago.
Now, with Constant Companion, you've kind of, led the way with sour beers into the Swedish market by importing a lot of sour breweries and some maybe more unknown Belgian sour breweries. How have you seen the sour beer market evolving and growing?
And in Sweden?
Yes.
Yeah. It's slowly evolving. From my point of view, I stepped into Constant Companion 2 years ago, and it's a beer style that's for the normal beer drinker. It's not so easy to really be fond of. For myself, it took me 1 year to really get it, and that is 7-8 years ago. I was in Karlskrona Beer Festival, and 1 year there was Anton from Brill. He sent me the list with a beer, around 50 beers, and then he had 5 sour beers. I called him and yelled at him, "Why are you bringing this crap to Karlskrona?" He just said, "You have to wait and see. You have to wait and see." And next year he sent me the beer list, and there was 5 sour beers again. And then I called him, "Why do you only have 5 sour beers?" And then they just start laughing. I told you. So that year we expanded it. And when you're really into the sour beers, it's so amazing style of beer you can use in a different ways. It's amazing to food because you have a sourness. It's the same. We are talking about wine. Really good wine match to food is when you have a clean, high acidity in the wine, and same as in this beer style, clean sourness, so you can have it to many different kind of foods. You can have it just as when you're thirsty. You can have it as a starter when you before a dinner. You pour up some Berliner Weisse with some nice fruit or something. It's so complex. You can use it in so many ways, and it's amazing.
The sour beer market is obviously huge, and there's a lot of different variations and different producers and stuff like that. But what would you recommend as a gateway sour beer, if you want to say that, to get someone who haven't tried sour beers before to get into like the sour beer scene?
In that case, I recommend the low alcohol Gose or Berliner Weisse with some fruit, raspberry or something like that. It's when I am running tastings, it's and I know that the audience is not so into sour beers. I normally put in Gose or Alvin Berliner Framboos, and 9 out of 10 they say that, oh, it's this sour beer. It tastes really, really well. And normally it's the women that step into it first. The old guys, they just sit waiting for their some Carlsberg or something. So I think you shouldn't go for the Udgois or Lambic or something like that. You should Berliner Weisse, Gose, something like that. And maybe some fruit or berries.
Nice. So do you have any beers at Systembolaget that people can get right now to get into sour beers?
Not on the sour side. We have a Freigeist beers, the hoppy ones.
Nice. And
you've been responsible for bringing in, I think it's called Maas, German brewery, which I have to say is quickly becoming one of my favorite breweries. They do amazing stuff.
I agree.
How did you discover them?
It was my colleague Mickey. He found them out 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago, and met Stefan Michel, that is one of the CEO of Maas and the main brewers and so on, and had a chat with him, and then from that we kicked it off. So in the last 1.5 years we have tried to build up that brand in Sweden, but because I totally agree to it. It's German classics, amazing, well done beers with a classic Pils, Helles, Ungespundet. 1 month ago, Mickey and me was down and participated in the release of this year's Weissebock. That was amazing. Kick off with Weissebock 10 in the morning was a true pleasure.
How do you find new breweries to bring into the Constant Companion fold?
Different ways, being at festivals, meeting people. Mickey is good at following some blogs and finding some small startups. So we are looking like kind of everywhere, and sometimes we got some tips from other importers and other breweries and so on. So it's a different kind of way of finding them. And normally we want to go down there and start with and have a chat with them, and to get to know them, and they got to know us, and maybe we can equally decide that, okay, let's go ahead.
I tried Caldebrato a couple of years ago in Italy, in like Florence region, and absolutely fell in love with that brewery. And then when I came back to Sweden, it was like suddenly everywhere. I was just like, holy crap, this is amazing. I'm so glad that other people get to try out Caldebrato, Italian brewer. Are we going to see more of them in bars and restaurants soon?
We're working on it.
Excellent.
I totally agree. When we went down 2 years ago and met in Bologna, and they are a little bit following the wine-making styles down in Bologna, because they are really nice, balanced and harmonized beers. It's not too much of acidity, not too much of a hoppiness, not too much of a fruitiness, it's not too much about the funkiness. It's just in balance that is truly amazing. So it's fun to work with them, I can tell you.
I bet. So what plans do you have for a Constant Companion?
Of course, we need to grow. Both Mickey is working full-time with it, and right now it's not kicking back so much financially, but we are on the right way. We have done some changes. We have been more focused on the product portfolio. We have kicked off the work with a marketing bureau, and we will continue that work to just spread the love, spread the word about the sour beers and really good craft beer. So, and meeting people at places like this, it's very important in our brand.
Anything else?
What's your favorite sour beer?
That's I can't say that I have one. I can't. I can mention some. Maria Toya that we are working with, they have a rhubarb raspberry blend that is truly amazing. Of course, I like everything what Psychopipes are doing. Torsten and Mickey, they are doing amazing things. You can pay me later, Torsten. Alvin, Cuvée Sophie Cloudberries, truly amazing. Cantillon, of course. Sorry that we are not working with them. Cadabrado, Strada down in Italy. Yeah. We can keep on going.
The list is long.
It's very long.
Yeah. Anything else that you want to add?
Maybe not. Hopefully we will have some fun stuff going on in this city this summer. But I will come back to us. It's just to follow our Facebook and you will find out.
Yes, you can find Constant Companion on Facebook and Instagram.
On the web.
And the web. So what's your website address?
ConstantCompanion.se. Surprised.
Makes sense. Okay, thank you, Leonard, for joining us. And best of luck with Companion and everything.
Thank you.
All right, let's get up for Leonard. Thank you so much. And thank you for everyone that has joined us tonight. Again, Irina, you can find her at Secret Sisters, as well as Brekeriet, and on Spotify, apparently. You can find Psychopipes at Facebook and Beer Ditch quite often.
Yep.
And, of course, Jackdaw is new to the region. We're still getting it down here. But check out Constant Companion, and they're bringing in lots of amazing stuff. If you haven't got tickets yet for the Great Swedish Beer Festival, remember to go online to www.gsbf.se, and because it's 100 breweries and more from all over Sweden. It's going to be an amazing time, and if you aren't going, you're just a sad person, and you should reevaluate your life. You can find us, of course, on what'sontappodcast.com, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever you can find podcast. Again, I am Stefan.
I'm Matthias.
And thank you for your time, and I hope to see you guys at future events. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.